What is up, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we got some more parts that we're going to put on, and I'm going to be taking off all of the vinyl decals they have on here in preparation for wrapping the bike. So the parts that we got today are going to be the radiator protector and the matching header protector from RNG. I've been catching a lot of bugs in the radiator and stuff and don't want to catch a rock, bust my radiator, and so this stuff should hopefully help protect the front end a little bit better. And sadly, in order to do that, we're gonna have to take off most of these panels in the front here so I can get access in from the side, because we gotta use the radiator bolt in order to mount these guys down. So yeah, we'll start by doing that, and I'll keep you guys posted. I will be following instructions made by RNG today, just because I don't know how the install process is supposed to go. So I'll keep you guys updated. So we have an honorable mention today. This is my cat Daisy. She's very vocal. In order to start getting this front panel assembly off on the side here, we need to start by taking off the bolt here, push pin rivet here, and the bolt in the back here. This piece comes off in two sections, this plastic piece here and then this plastic piece up here. Once we get those off, it's going to give us access into the bolts that hold the side panel on up here. So we're going to start by doing that. I'm going to grab my tools right now. These should be 4 millimeters. I'll check and make sure that's correct. And that does seem to be correct. So we're just going to loosen these guys. Get that bolt out. Do the same up top here. This handlebar's kind of... That guy's loose. These guys are pretty loose bolts, you know, they're not super tight. It's just to hold the panels down in place. Pop this pin. And you guys have seen me do it before, but I typically use the edge of these Allen wrenches just to pop in there because I don't have nails or anything that are gonna be able to help me get that. So pull the panel a little bit and that'll come out. After you remove those 3 bolts, these panels should come out with this front panel coming out first. You can try and go ahead and remove these panels here. So pop pin right there. I'm sure that there's another one in here. Oh, I think actually we're gonna have to remove this bolt here too. I think this is connected to that bolt, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. It's also a 4 millimeter. Now this guy should be a little more loose. There we go. And then this panel will come on out. Set this guy, you just kind of push it in towards the speedometer there and it kind of falls out. There is a little pin here that goes into this rubber grommet here. So keep that in mind. And then this is that rubber grommet that was on that other piece that I had to take off. The next thing that has to come out is this 10 millimeter bolt that's down in here. There's this bolt right here. Yeah, that was bother. After you break it loose, you just unscrew the fingers here. Take this guy off. Make sure we don't lose that. The next bolt that we have is another 4 millimeter Allen, and it's right here. You can barely see the tip of it in this picture here, but it's right there at the end. So we're gonna get that guy out. There we go. That's that bolt we were looking for right there. And then what we should be able to do is this panel's gonna be loose now. It should be. And that guy comes loose. There's some rubber fittings on here that slide under these holes, and one in the front, one in the rear, and then that front piece is tucked in behind that front fender. Alrighty, so now we're going to start by getting the rest of the bolts that hold this panel on off, and we're going to be taking this whole thing connected together off in one piece. So there's 2 push pins down here at the bottom. We're gonna get those guys off. Daisy's gonna come say hello. What do you think of that? Yeah, pretty cool, huh? There we go. You get that bottom one out. Yeah. That piece is free to break free, so we're gonna move over. We're gonna get this bolt off down the bottom here. And I believe this one's a 6mm. It's not a 4, but no, it is a 4. So we'll go ahead and break that guy loose. Take that out. And then this bolt up here, you're gonna need to take him out. So we'll break that guy loose. I like to keep the washers with these Allen bolts just so I don't lose them. This one's kind of stuck in there. Now there's gonna be a whole bunch of push pieces that hold this guy in place. So we'll just slowly start taking it apart, get this panel taken off. So you guys can watch me struggle with that. So let's go ahead and start pulling this guy apart. Start at the bottom here. That panel comes off, good there. Oh, I forgot about this. There's 2 more bolts in the back here, push pins that we're gonna have to take out. So let me get those quick. You gotta kind of pull forward on this panel to loosen it from this end over here. I'm not too sure what's going on the top here. We'll figure that out in just a minute. Just make sure the rest of this is loose. Yeah, it is. So there is one more connection up here. That panel's just gonna come with it. It's just got Velcro adhesion on there. Let's see what we gotta do here. I don't really need this panel to be coming off way too much, but we can take it fully off here. But I think I'm just gonna leave it here and kind of stand it up because I have the access I need now. We got it all off, and what we had to do, we had to disconnect up in this little piece here. We had to disconnect this, which goes up and connects to our turn signal, and then this wire here, which goes into, I think it's some sort of fuel system that's attached to the back of the panel here. After I did that, I just took the whole panel up, and I have it kind of sitting on the handlebar here and on the rear peg, or on the foot brake. But that exposed this front area where I need to be. If I were to take this panel off, you'd be able to see it a little bit better, but I'm not going to do that today just because this is all the access I need in order to get this installed. This is going to be the best view I can really give you guys. And I'll kind of explain the process of what I'm doing as we go. But for starters, I want to brush off this radiator. I want to get all the bugs off of it. So that's going to be my first move here. So let me get my brushes out. And I'm just going to use kind of like a coarse brush, but it's nylon bristles. And the reason I'm using this is I don't want to damage the radiator by using something that's made out of metal, you know? I'm just going to try and clear out as much of these bugs as I can. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Alright, and we can go ahead and kind of mock this guy up. We are going to have to take the bolt off that's at the bottom of the radiator to mount both of our pieces. That bolt is going to need to come off. This piece is going to go in here, and it's going to sit pretty much exactly like this. Once I get the radiator piece moved, it'll be a little bit easier to show you, but it'll get mounted right down in there. But to start, before we do that, it comes with foam pads that we are going to cut down and put on the back of this panel, and I'll kind of show you that. Alrighty, so these are the strips that they're talking about, these foam strips. It's going to protect this from rubbing against the radiator and possibly creating holes. And what they want us to do is cut this into small, they say 10mm strips. I'm just going to cut them in half in the long ways. Should be about 10mm. So we're just gonna take these guys and we're just gonna pretty much cut them in half along that vertical side. just like that. They say they want us to go pretty much around the perimeter. So I think what I'm gonna do is kind of mock them up here. Kind of see where these pieces would fall into place. So we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, probably like 5, 6, something like that. So we hit all those points. I might just cut small pieces and put them like that. So let's mock up this size here. Like that. And I'll pull this sticker off. Adhere that on there. Do the same thing up on top here. I will say the stuff that they got on here that's sticky is a pretty good adhesive, I'm not gonna lie. Put one strip up in the middle. And again, this is basically just gonna protect against the rubbing on the radiator itself. There. This piece over here. I'll take these 2 longer ones, and let's see here, we'll be able to cut this in half so we can split it up evenly, just because I'm thinking we'll do something like that. And just like that, that's what they want you to do. So, and that's gonna basically lift it up off of the radiator so that it doesn't start rubbing all over the place. Next thing we need to do is go ahead and take this bolt off. I believe it is just a 10mm, like it was up top, so you can use that same socket. I'll go ahead and start taking this guy off. And once that guy's off, that piece comes out. That's not gonna matter, we can put that back in. And then these pieces, the header and radiator guard, both mount to that piece. This is the radiator. Just start putting it up there, nice and easy. Go up like that, and it's a pretty snug fit, so that's good. All right, and then the header is going to mount just below that, like so. And then we're going to take that bolt that we just took off, feed it through both of these pieces, and kind of just guide it into that hole again. Then we can go ahead and tighten that bolt back down. So now she's kind of mocked into place, and we can make sure all these other panels are going to line up nicely. I mean, it's all looking pretty good, but that's gonna protect everything in here. So I'm not gonna tighten that down. So now we got a nice grill that's gonna protect everything. It mounts down here, mounts back up here, and then we're gonna put zip ties in the top. It's gonna be the easiest for you guys to see, but this is the grill down in here. And then this is a little metal bracket piece that's part of the bike. We're gonna mount a zip tie through there and onto that so that it has some structure up at the top. Right through this hole. It comes through just like that. So now we've got a zip tie in there that's going to hold that top down. We're just going to tighten that guy down. Make sure that that's going to hold tight right there. And then we'll go ahead and snip that so we don't have extra wires running around that could possibly harm the bike. And then we got another one on the back side of the, or on the left side of the bike that we're gonna put on too. We got that all tightened up now. I got both sides put on. I didn't film the other side because there's absolutely no way you guys would be able to see it. But now we're just gonna kind of hold this header protector in place of how we want it to be seated, which is pretty much just like that. And we're gonna go ahead and tighten this bolt down here. Make sure that that's all tight, because that is going to be the radiator mount still, so gotta make sure everything stays nice and tight. There it is. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start assembling the panel back together. Once we get the panel all back together, instead of using the push pin on the top here, on this front piece, which you can't see, hold up, give me just a second here. So down here in the front, right over here, instead of using the push pin there on the front of this grate, we're going to be using some hardware that was provided by R&G. We got the panel, for the most part, mocked back into place. There's just a couple things we need to do now. I wanted to show you guys the hardware that's provided from R&G for this specific piece right here. Make sure that you have it oriented correctly. You put the black washer on. You're going to line up, as I flick the bolt away. You're gonna line up all these holes here. Nice thing is that it does kind of go onto your hands, so get it going. And on the back side, you got a washer and a nut. So we'll feed that washer in there. And we'll get this locking up put on. It looks like you have it on. See if that's not going to be too much. So I'm getting take this real quick. So keep going, guys. Nice and good size. And that is now one part of the panel. We got these extra zip ties that they gave us too, so I was waiting until I got everything all mocked up, make sure everything was straight. Now we can go ahead and tighten these guys down together. And that's pretty much it, guys. I just gotta tighten the rest of these panels down. Get this last little push pin in down here. I'll pull her out to show you guys the final product. Now in reverse order, I'm just going to be putting everything back together. As of right now, I already have it all kind of laid out, where it's supposed to go, where everything did go. And we're just going to start putting them back on. So for starters, we line this back up. We're going to put this Allen bolt back in behind that little loop there. And that one was a 4mm. So I'm going to grab that. And we'll put that guy back in. That should be good. She's on there pretty sturdy. And we're gonna get this bolt that was down back here at 10mm. There we go. Now that's nice and tight on there. We can go ahead and tighten up the bolts on the fairing. Now that fender is fully put back on and assembled. We just got to put the small guys back up top. Just like that. We'll get this bolt realigned here. Took this fairing off here, and now I'm just putting this guy back into place here. So, this one back up here. Alright, so after all of that is aligned, I just have this last one to put in here. Just gonna go down below right in here. So we're just gonna get this piece kind of mocked into place here. There's a grommet that we gotta slide it into. And also line all these up. There we go. Get it kind of twisted into place. This comment, please. Like that. Let's put this up back there. So looking right here. Line that up. Black bolts back here. And one of our favorites of this bike, these little pockets, all these things. So cool. It's got lined up. And then just like that. Tiny last two bolts on. That's it, guys. That's right here. That's it. That's all she wrote. Ready to go back. So I'm gonna put the seat back on, and then I'll pull her outside and show you guys that grill. That's what it looks like now. Got all that protection up there, covers the full radiator. Don't look at the bugs, you. But yeah, so now I have full protection up here, protecting my headers. I don't really care about that, but I got it because it fitted and it matched, and it looked really good. As far as that goes, that is going to be the video for today. So we got the RNG radiator protector and header protector on. So that's all I have for right now. Next, we are going to take the decals off, but it's already getting late and I kind of want to go for a ride on this beautiful day out. So I'm gonna go do that, and then we'll do that another time. So thank you guys for watching. We'll look forward to doing it again soon.